Welcome back to Takeout. Welcome to the Conversation Corner. 52 days ago, that was the last time the House was in session and cast a vote of any kind. Tonight, many House members are heading back to Washington per the order of House Speaker Mike Johnson. I'm joined now by California Democratic Congressman Jimmy Gomez. Congressman, your district's in L.A. I want to give my audience a little bit of your biography. You went to community college when you started your educational journey. You worked at a Subway and a Target. Before you got into state and federal politics, you were a union organizer and union political operative. With all that as a background,
Correct.
how does this shutdown deal, negotiated by 7 Senate Democrats and 1 Senate independent, land with you?
Well, I think it's one of the weakest deals I've ever seen in my life because they didn't get really anything in return. One of the things I've said from the beginning, since the beginning of this year, when everybody was deflated and wondering what the direction of the Democrats would be, I said you have a simple strategy: show up and fight, organize, 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 and then stall or stop the Republican agenda. And that's how we win the American people back, because they want to see us fighting for them, for the working class, fighting every single day. But you got to show up and fight. And this capitulation of these 7, 8 senators shows that they still don't understand the moment we're in. And the moment we're in is that we're fighting for the future of not only our country, but the future of working people. And they want to see us lay everything on the line. They don't care if you lose every single vote. They want to see you put up a fight. Nobody roots for a boxer that says no mas or a team that walks off the field. You got to put up a fight. They put up a fight for 52 days, and then they capitulated at the last minute and still didn't get anything. It doesn't make sense to me. They should have held out. My people, my district told us to hold on, not to capitulate, not to give up, and they appreciated the fight, because that's what this is about, because they know that Donald Trump and Republicans don't care about them.
So if I hear you correctly, Congressman, you would have been prepared, and you believe Democrats in Washington should have been prepared to fight, even if it meant a completely chaotic Thanksgiving travel season and the suspension of SNAP benefits, because the administration went to the Supreme Court to make sure lower court orders providing those benefits were not lived up to.
There's a thing I learned early on: you don't negotiate with legislative terrorists. And one of the things you have with Donald Trump and Republicans, they're definitely legislative terrorists. They don't care if they're going to shoot the hostages or the American people. They don't care what kind of pain they put them in. When it comes to the ACA subsidies increasing on top of the cost of living increasing, or the fact that they attacked SNAP over the last year. The American people know that the Republicans don't care about helping the working class. That one, they cut $200 billion out of SNAP in the one big beautiful bill. They canceled 92 million pounds of food that was already heading to food banks, that was already paid for, that would have fed 12 million people. The American people know that the Republicans keep selling them out for their donors and their largest supporters. So when we push back, they know why we're pushing back. They know that Democrats care about them. They care about the working people. So as long as we keep focused on what this is about, which is the average man or woman on the street, struggling to get by, people who want to see their kids do better, then we're going to win those fights. And here's the thing. Why now? Why after 52 days? We were still a few days out from Thanksgiving. So one of the things I want to say is that my constituents, I was at a food bank handing out food, and people were still telling me, keep up the fight.
This is working its way through the Senate. When it gets to the House later this week, do you expect it to pass, even though you'll be a no?
Not sure, because we don't really know where the Republicans are, right? You had Mike Lawler, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a bunch of them saying they should do something about the expiring ACA subsidies that were increasing the cost of health insurance in their own districts. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen. I suspect Donald Trump will twist some arms and make sure that the Republicans get on board. But here's the thing: those ACA subsidies expiring disproportionately impact states, red states that never expanded Medicaid. So they're going to feel it even more. So I think this is bad news for them, even if they are able to pass the CR to get the government open.
I've heard several Democrats tell me today, Congressman, I'd like your opinion of this. We had to end this at one point or another. We elevated the issue of health care. That's a net benefit for us. No one's going to remember about who won or lost this shutdown 3 months from now. We need to move on.
Well, I think one of the things we did do was bring attention to these ACA subsidies. When I say show up and fight, organize, 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 install the Republican agenda, it's to bring the attention of the American people to what's going on in Washington. If not, things happen in the dead of the night, and then Republicans try to blame Democrats. So this fight did bring attention to the fact that the ACA subsidies are expiring, their cost of living is going to go up, that Republicans are using SNAP against them, and Mike Johnson is delaying the swearing in of Alita Grajava to prevent her signing the discharge petition to bring out the Epstein files. So one of the things it did do was bring attention. In the end, who knows? I'm not in the room with the senators, but I would have been fighting every step of the way if I was in those rooms to get the Republicans to come to our side, to get them to cave. But we will never know what would happen if this would have lasted maybe a few more days. So nobody can really truly say that this is what had to happen and this is when the time it had to happen. They could have still played it out a few more days.
Congressman Jimmy Gomez, Democrat, Los Angeles. Appreciate the time, sir. Thank you.
Of course.